Part 2 of the Staccato C DUO with the Sig ROMEOZero sight on it, 3 MOA dot. And at the time of this recording, I've got more than 600 rounds to the gun. So the question is, how well did it work? Were there any problems? If so, what were they? How did the sight work, etc.? Stick around, Rider's Range is going to answer those questions. First, I want to make it clear that this gun is empty. There's no magazine in it. There's nothing in the chamber. We'll get to the range review here in just a minute, but I did want to mention that in our first video, we talked about how there was a weight difference between the two guns. So I took it apart and weighed the individual components, and it's interesting that the frame was actually a couple of tenths of an ounce heavier on the Staccato C DUO than it was on the original Staccato C. The recoil assembly is about the same. The barrel was the same. The slide was where the difference was. Now, it surprised me that the slide with the Sig ROMEOZero optic on it on the Staccato C DUO was 10.4 ounces, but 11.3 on the original Staccato C with no sight plate. So the full upper was 16.6 ounces with the ROMEOZero mounted on it on the Staccato C DUO, but 17.4 ounces on the original Staccato C. I have no idea where they shaved the weight on it, but that's where the difference was. All right, we are going to get to the range video, but just I want to preface this with saying that I did have problems with one particular type of ammunition, and only one. We fired a lot of different types of ammo out of this, but shooting the Federal American Eagle 147 grain 9mm full metal jacket flat point, we had issues. And actually had 3 different issues with it. Now, before I go any farther, I do want to say that I like Federal ammunition. In fact, during the couple of decades that I shot PPC, that's all I used was Federal. And I probably got 200,000 rounds of Federal out of a variety of different guns. And they've been wonderfully reliable and accurate. So, but also I want to say that Federal does not sponsor this video. Federal doesn't sponsor Rider's Range in any way, shape, or form. In fact, it'd be nice if somebody would give us some ammunition, but right now everything that we shoot we've had to buy, including our components for reloaded ammunition. So Federal's not a sponsor, but again, I really do like their ammunition. The 3 issues we had with this: 1, I had a couple of misfires, and even with multiple strikes, and those are good solid primer hits, these rounds did not go off. I also had several hang fires, and we'll put a quick cut in here of the hang fire issues that we had. At least one of them I show in slow motion, and had about a half a dozen hang fires with this. Again, split-second hang fires, but very surprising. I noticed a slight hang fire. That's not the first one I've had with a Federal. That's about the 3rd slight hang fire I've had with these Federal 147s. And then the 3rd issue we had that you'll see in a couple of the frames is that the 147 grain ammo did not want to feed reliably in this gun. Whether it was out of an STI magazine or a Trip Research Cobra mag, it just didn't want to feed. So that tells me that 147 and this gun do not get along fine, but everything else does. My carry ammo for this is going to be the Remington Golden Saber 147 grain, which is wonderfully reliable and absolutely accurate. All right, so enough of the talking on this. Let's get to some range footage. We'll show you the targets we fired initially with the iron sights on the gun, then also with the Sig ROMEOZero, and couple of different types of ammunition, and then after 500 rounds we brought it back and it was still zeroed. And we'll get into running the plates, including some 6-inch plates at 50 yards on the portable Texas Star. And this gun, that's not me doing that shooting, that's this gun. It is wonderfully accurate, easy to shoot. This is my new carry gun. All right, let's go out to the range. Staccato C DUO for shots, iron sights, 15 yards, 124 grain Federal. just a little low left. I felt like I pulled a couple of those down, and that's with a center hold. All right, 15 yards, Sig ROMEOZero, 3 MOA dot, 124 grain Federal. It seems to be sighted. Let's see where it goes, if I can make it work right. I can do my part. Yeah, I can live with that. Staccato C ROMEOZero. 510 rounds to this gun so far. This is 147 grain Remington Golden Saber, standing without support, 15 yards, and 3-inch circle. Let's see how this holds zero now after 500 rounds. Did not hold back. Open after the last shot. That's an STI magazine, but it's not a Staccato magazine. This came with an STI Electra. All right, we did the first target with the Federal 124 grain target or range ammunition. We got 10 rounds loaded up in this Wilson Combat magazine. So we'll put 10 rounds through here, 15 yards, using the ROMEOZero 3 MOA dot. We'll see how this works. Pull that a little to the left. .124 grain Federal seems to work just fine on this. We're going to document the final, I think, 59 rounds out of the Staccato C DUO with the ROMEOZero 3 MOA dot sight on it. And nothing has been done to this gun other than shoot it. I did do a real cursory cleaning and lube when I first got it. And 519 rounds through it so far. So the additional 59 here, 578 rounds, and it's when we're done, assuming it'll run the next 59 with no problem. Nice little gun so far. We're going to start it and run through our usual routine at 12, 25, and 50. We've already done the 15-yard bullseye with this, and it shoots wonderfully still on. Sight has not lost zero. We're going to run this today and see how it works. 147 grain Federal. And right out of the bat, didn't want a chamber one, and that's out of an STI magazine. Maybe it is time for a lube. Didn't chamber that one. Probably time for a lube on this. It is not working the 147s. Any of them. Try a different magazine. Hate to have to go back. All right, now that was out of a Cobra mag, Trip Research Cobra mag. That seemed to work okay. All right, we're back with the Staccato C DUO, 147 grain Federal ammunition out of the Staccato mag for the first one, and the second magazine is a magazine from the original Staccato C. We're going to set up 25 yards and see how well it'll run over there. 12-inch black one on the left, 8-inch next to it, 10-inch between the silhouettes. Can I get the center of the silhouette out? I can. Can I get it back? Pelvis. Hit it. Try it again. Alright, let's see if I can get the pelvis back. Head. And head back. That's probably the best shooting gun I've had in a long time. Back to the 8-inch, white 8-inch on the left. Torso. White 10 on the middle, black 10 on the right. 12 on the left. Alright, I like it. Did have that hang up out of the original Staccato mag, but other than that, it's seemed to be doing just fine, even dirty as is. So let's push our luck out to 50 yards. Start with the easy one, the white 16-inch black circle. Gets that nice up at the 12-inch right below it. 12-inch hanging high right. White 10-inch way over on the left. Orange 10-inch next to it. Dare I try the Texas Star? 6-inch plates, 50 yards. Let's give it a try. I noticed a slight hang fire. That's not the first one I've had with a Federal. That's about the third slight hang fire I've had with these Federal 147s. I don't know what it is with these. Can still work on the Star. Again, just a very slight hang fire on that. Just almost imperceptible, but it was there. Alright, Trip Research Cobra Mag, still with the 147, still in the Texas Star. I'm just spraying lead. Come on, easy on the trigger. All right, one left with 3 and 9, 12 rounds left. And that one's spinning pretty good. That should be interesting. Get another slight hang fire. All right, another nosedive. This is with the Cobra bag. It does not like these Federal 147s. If I talk enough, that'll slow down enough to make it a little easier to hit. And there it is. 6-inch plates on the move, 50 yards. You know, I really didn't like this ROMEOZero going into this, but so far it's been doing well. All right, what do we have here? We got 1, 2, 3, 6, about 7 rounds left to go. We're set up for 50. Let's finish them at 50. Back to 10-inch, white 10-inch on the left. Yeah, I haven't hit the orange silhouette with a black center yet. I haven't hit the orange 12-inch with a black center either. White with the orange hanging high right. White with the orange suspended next to the silhouette. Oh, I missed one. And again, another hang fire, slight hang fire with that. Huh. 1 round left. Nice and easy. Go back to where we started, the 16-inch white with a black center. And there it is. All right, that puts us at just knocking on the door of 600 rounds with this thing. Still has not been cleaned. The one thing we've learned, it really doesn't like the Federal 147 grain flat points. I'm not sure I like them either, but this gun certainly doesn't like them. So, Staccato C DUO, ROMEOZero 3 MOA sight on it, and it is working very, very, very well. I'm still going to put the Holosun 507K on it once Dawson sends me the mounting plate for it, and that'll wrap up part 3 right now. This is part 2. One other thing I do want to talk about here in just a second is the holster that I'm using for this, and I need to adjust the camera angle to get a picture of it. So the holster I'm using for this Staccato C DUO is a Garrett Industries holster. We did a video on our Garrett Industries holsters. Actually, I believe we did 2. I'll post the link up here to the second one. We had to do a slight modification. Now this is the Silent Thunder STX 2.0 holster, and a couple of modifications I had to make. One, I made on this the same as I made on the initial one, to round off the back side of it so it doesn't print quite so well. But a couple other modifications we had to do on this in order to fit the gun with the ROMEOZero sight. By the way, this is unloaded. You know, we fired all of our ammunition out here. So I did have to scallop it in just a little bit here to fit the sight, and because I run a little bit of a cant on the holster, I had to scallop in the mounting device, or the mounting point on the front also a little bit in order to fit this ROMEOZero. The gun fits in there nicely. It's snug. It does conceal fairly well for an OWB holster. Of course, I got a little excess real estate to help conceal it here. It does draw very nicely. I can get a good grip on the gun, and it still goes in all in and out with one hand fit. Now, whether or not this will fit with the Holosun 507K, it's a little bit different profile sight. I may have to tweak this holster just a little bit more, but it does work. Of course, we got the matching magazine pouch for it from Garrett Industries. Nice setup. This, I tell you, I like my first Staccato C. The only thing I didn't like about it, 2 things. The magazine release, I mentioned that in the initial video, and I'll post that up here. And the second thing I didn't like was that 2.5 pound trigger. Wow. Really great for range work, just a little bit too light for carry. This one's coming in at 3.5. I wanted to see if I'd like it with an optic on it, and boy, do I ever. As you can see by the target that we fired at 15 yards, it is right on, and the fact that I'm hitting 6-inch plates at 50 yards with this thing regularly, even on the move, and every plate we hit down there, I think we did miss the 12-inch one time. That was me, not the gun. So that little ROMEOZero's right on. I still think the Holosun 507K, from my experience with that on my Sig 365, we'll post a link to that video up here. We got more than 1,000 rounds, in fact more than 1,200 rounds out of that one right now, and that Holosun 507K is just a wonderful sight. I think it has better durability, certainly less fragile than what I perceive the polymer framed ROMEOZero sight to be. I think the 507K Holosun is going to be a sturdier sight, but again, this has surprised me. Now, I have checked every 100 rounds. I didn't Loctite the screws because I'm going to take this thing off. So every 100 rounds I did put my Wheeler fat wrench on here. Now it says you're supposed to torque these down to 9 pounds. This thing lowest goes to 10 pounds. And they are still tight. After the first 100 rounds, I did have just a little movement in the left screw. The right screw has stayed all the time. So it's holding zero, it's staying where it belongs, and it's working right well. Part 3 will come up with the Holosun on it, and by then we'll probably have close to 1,000 rounds on this. I think this is going to become my new carry pistol. Wow. I really do like the Staccato C DUO. And if you like this video, we appreciate a thumbs up. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe, click on the notifications bell so that you know what's coming up. Comments on this video, please put them down below. We appreciate that. Comments on anything else, send them to info@ridersrange.com. Check our website, www.ridersrange.com. And this is part 2 of a 3-part series of the Staccato C DUO on Riders Range. Thanks for visiting.